You guys, I'm so excited for you to meet Christian Zimmerman. We first met when we were in the trenches together at HireWire, and from day one, I admired his work ethic and positive energy. Christian has gone on to start a company called Coins, along with his co-founder, Nate Washington. Coins is a new way to conquer your debt. You can use the spare change from each debit or credit card purchase to automatically pay off your debt. What I want to know is, where was this when I was in college? So check out my interview with Christian now and learn how you can gain freedom from debt faster than ever.
Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan.
Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right?
Titania.
Titania. Okay. All right.
It's Titania Jordan.
Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. I'm here with one of my favorite people on the planet, Christian Zimmerman of Coins. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited. Super excited. It's been a long time.
Yes, I know. So Christian and I worked together back in the day. Like, we were in the grind, in the hustle, and he's just a really solid dude. He and Nate have started Coins, which helps you pay off your student loan. And
Well, we'll go.
Yeah, we'll go. That's what I knew of it.
Yeah.
You can tell me where you are now, but man, that would have been cool to have when I was in my early 20s. I'm still paying off my student loans, so and just debt in general, right?
Yeah.
And so talk to us for people who don't know what Coins is. Tell us what you are.
Yeah. So Coins is an automated solution to help people pay off. We say consumer debt, but now we're really focusing on credit card debt. We started out with student loans.
Okay.
And then just given the data and kind of analyzing it, we found that 85% of our customers are using it for credit card debt.
Wow.
And it makes more sense given higher interest rates, lower amounts that they have. It averages between $4,000 and $7,000, whereas student loans is like 30 to 35. So you're going to see a bigger impact a lot faster. And so with that data, we were like, well, I think we need to kind of just focus in on that. And we do have customers that use it for like healthcare, student loans, auto loans, mortgages, but we just try to keep the messaging tailored towards credit card debt, which is funny because Dave, this is a conversation we had a long time ago, and I was like, I don't know. And he's like, well, you'll remember this conversation, so I totally remember it now.
So Dave Payne of Switchyards?
Yeah, Dave, shout out to Dave because he was right. but yeah, I think it's just me being stubborn and hard-headed. I had to figure out not the hard way, but really looking back and sitting and analyzing it, but
But it's nice because you paid attention to the data,
Yeah.
right? The data doesn't lie. The data told you to make that pivot, which most startups have to do.
Exactly.
And you made a wise choice.
Yeah.
And so you just told me some amazing numbers off camera. You've helped to pay down how much debt?
$750,000 so far. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think we're set to hit at least $1 million by end of December. So.
Wow.
It's super humbling. It's super exciting. That's definitely what keeps me going, knowing that we definitely are making an impact. And that's just with 6,000 customers or payments that we send out so far.
That's so awesome.
So it's download Coins.
Yeah. So it's Q-U-O-I-N-S.
No, you.
No, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I
Coins
always get
spelled with a Q.
confused.
We just say Coins spelled with a Q.
Yeah.
Q-O-I-N-S.
Q-O-I-N-S. We will put a link, obviously, below this video. You should check it out. You should download it. And what's cool is you don't limit it. So, if I didn't have student loans, I could just connect it and help pay down my Amex or my Visa or MasterCard.
Capital One, Amex, those are some of our bigger lenders that we provide payments towards. And all that's really necessary is the address payable and then obviously the account number, and then we send it out every month on behalf of the customer. Our average user saves roughly $50 in spare change on a monthly basis. So whatever you save in your Coins account, that's automatically sent out. So people are doubling their payments, getting out of debt faster. We had one customer actually just pay off 2 cards. She's on to a 3rd now.
Nice.
So people like that, it's super humbling. It's super exciting.
Well, and it's liberating for the consumer, right?
Exactly.
You're helping them win
Yeah.
at life. So it's great.
Exactly.
Now, how does it work? How does it work?
So how it works is you obviously download the app. It's available on iOS or Android.
Nice.
You sign up. You connect your card that you use on an everyday basis. So you know, it can be debit or credit card, we'll track it. We don't necessarily take the money from that account, given if your credit card, we're not going to take the money out and give you more debt, right? So we track a card, and then you can have up to 3 cards that are tracked. And then also you add your lender, obviously who you want to pay off, and then a funding source, which is your checking account. So that's verified through micro deposits, a routing account number. And then once you do that, everything's kind of like a set it and forget it. You can see all the transactions that are made. There's a trigger of $5, which will initiate a withdrawal from that funding source, and then that money will be sent to your coins account. And that's happening throughout the month. And then whatever you have at the end of the month, or whatever date that you set to send out a payment, that money will be automatically sent out to your lender.
So if I go to Starbucks and I spend $3.26, 74 cents will be put towards my coins account?
Correct.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we already know who it needs to be sent to. So at once a month, that money, all the collective spare change that you saved will be sent to the lender.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, there's so many things that we could talk about just because this is fascinating. But you know, you embody what it means to be a startup founder and just hustle, like really like grinding. I mean, you don't stop. You are so driven. There's a lot of hard things you've had to overcome just in terms of like, how do you sync with a bank?
Yeah.
How do you get access to people's accounts? How do you keep them secure?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things you had to figure out.
A lot of moving parts. Yeah.
And you didn't come from a finance background, right?
No, just
So,
a
like-
business management standpoint, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like you had this like in with like a Bank of America contact or something. Like you had to figure all of this out.
Yeah.
And you did it. And now you have customers and revenue and things are growing and that's exciting. Not only that, but you have had open heart surgery how many times?
2 open heart surgeries. I'll have a third in like a few years, and I've had lung surgery.
Yeah. So
yeah.
just no big deal, just that.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. No, but so the point is that you know what it means to persevere.
Yeah.
You would never know that you ever struggled with anything because you just have such a positive, upbeat outlook. Like, look, it's a problem, but we're going to figure it out.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of like the mindset that I've always had given my situation. I don't ever kind of consider it as like like something that held me back per se. But like, so when we first launched Coins, like, you know, I started when I was working at HireWire.
Yeah.
And that's where we met. And, you know, they were like super supportive. I think that's really what got me off the ground to like really understand like how to execute in early stage and whatnot. So I definitely learned a lot. And, you know, after that, I was like, let's start Coins, and I met Nate, and then we started working on it. And literally right after I left, you know, that security that I had at HireWire, you know, I got sick too, and then I got a heart infection. So that I thought I was gonna have my third, like, in December or January, and so like that was probably the toughest time I ever had, was because like, you know, I left the job, I tried to start my own company, I get super sick, I'm stuck in the hospital for like a week, and I think. Honestly, after that, I think that was probably one of the most defiant moments where I was like, you know, if I can overcome that, and I had the support of like friends and family that came and saw me, I was like, I mean, there's not much that like I feel like I can't do per se.
Right.
So
that's right.
So yeah, I mean, and it was crazy because I also had to have an IV in my arm for like 6 weeks after that outside the hospital. So, you know, I already had an office at Switchyards, and I was just going there, and I would just make sure nobody could really see it, but then like I would still take the medicine and everything. And yeah, I mean, after that, I was just like, we're good. Let's get the ball moving again. So yeah, it's
that's so awesome. You're so inspirational. What are some, you know, because obviously this is video content, but we're gonna do everything we can with it. Like have a cool page all about you and coins and content. And so, you know, something we like to have is like a dedicated topic. And when I thought about you, I thought like 7 key things that can help you in your startup hustle or that kind of thing. So like pour into our audience now and just, you know, give them any sort of advice you have, or what helps you stay motivated, what helps you stay driven. When you get down, when you have hard times, where do you turn? Where do you turn for innovation? Who are some mentors? Just all of that. We want to pour into like what gets you going.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with the first one is, don't ever feel like you're above any job. I think that's, so the one thing that I learned when I first started Coins was when I was working at Highwire, I was, it's funny because I was doing ground signs, and like, I did ground signs almost every day, and
But
like,
you were also doing
but I was
high level
also
stuff,
doing like
analytics
and all that marketing, other things too. But like, for a while there, I felt like, I complained about it. I was like, I'm
ground
Latino, it's ground signs, like there's just a stigma there. Hey, you don't think about it, but I felt, I kind of felt it, and that's when I was going to pitch practice, and Kevin Sandlin, which, awesome guy too.
Yeah.
He, I told him this, and he was like, Christian, like, you can't think like that. If you want to build something, you're gonna have to do things that you don't want to do. Might not seem fun or like cool or whatever, but that's what's gonna build your character, and that really stuck with me. And so like till this day, I honestly, it doesn't matter what I have to do. I'll call customers if I have to. I still call customers on a daily basis. I'll email them. I'll text them, like just to try to figure out what the problems they have, because they have problems, and some are happy, some aren't. But you just got to do whatever it takes. So I think that's probably like the first one. The second one, to your point you were saying earlier was like, sometimes you have those highs and lows, and we definitely have those. I think the biggest thing is, so what I do every day is not, so like everybody always tells you like, oh, when I wake up, I'll like tell myself like, these are the goals I want to do. I don't really do that, but like I out loud will say what I'm trying to achieve, and I do it on a daily basis. I don't do it around anybody, but I kind of like when I'm driving, or like when I wake up, or like at any point in the day, I just tell myself like, you're gonna achieve these goals. You're great. Like not like as like to boast, but like it's a self-confidence that helps you kind of keep going even when you're feeling down.
Your brain is a literal organ.
Exactly, and I write it down. So I have like on my notes page on my iPhone, on the notes app, I write down all my goals I want for the year, and then throughout the year, I'm looking at them and seeing what have I achieved, what have I not. And it's funny, like almost every year that I've done it, so I've been doing it since I was like 16 or 15, like I've achieved almost all. The only ones I haven't done is like learning how to cook, because I never learned it.
Buy my first Tesla.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I obviously like you want to have like, I always try to have goals that like aren't obtainable now, but like the ones that I can keep pushing into the next year, so that I kind of keep striving for those. But then obviously goals that I know I can achieve like this year, so like reading like 5 or 6 books. That's like trying to get something like that going, so building habits. Just doing things that kind of help, I guess, that willpower to continue moving in the right direction, because you are gonna fall down, or you are gonna feel like kind of depressed or sad on some days. And I think also having like a support system, like people thrive off what you're thriving off, and then when you're down, you want to have those people kind of pick you up too.
Yes.
And so like my parents, my girlfriend, my friends, like they know like when I'm upset, and they'll be like, when I first started, I'm like a very super like outgoing, positive, like optimistic person, and like sometimes I'll actually be like the opposite, and then my girlfriend will be like, yeah, you can't stop saying that, you know how you are, like stop talking like that. I mean, she's right. So and same with my parents, like my mom's like, yeah, it's gonna be hard, so don't act like it's gonna be easy, just keep going. So just having that support system too, I think that's really needed and helpful. And then obviously having for like figuring out how do I navigate through our industry, which is financial technology. That's been difficult. Like I'm still learning each and every day. So right now we're in Charlotte for Queen City FinTech Accelerator Program, and they've been awesome in supporting us with like mentors and coaches that kind of have expertise in different areas that we're looking for. So like working with payment processors, partnering banks, what are the ins and outs, regulation, compliance, figuring out where are we doing things not the right way, where can we improve, where can we cut costs, where can we create things that are scalable for the long term. Just talking to them, like I had a meeting this morning with someone over like North Highlands that does consulting, so helping us kind of navigate those waters and figuring out what's the best route to find the right partnering bank, things like that. So having people, I think the biggest thing is knowing that you don't know everything, and being willing to ask. Like that was probably the hardest thing for me when I first started, was asking is so powerful, because there's people that want to help you, but they think that you're like okay, right? Or they don't think like you know it all, but they think that you like, okay, he doesn't need help right now, but like if he's willing to ask me, I'm willing to help. And that's when one of the hardest things that that me personally have had to learn the hard way. But I've definitely humbled myself and try to like remove that pride, because at the end of the day, people are there really do care about you want to help you out
They
when you
really
need
do,
it. So.
especially in Atlanta and Charlotte.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Atlanta's been super awesome. Just as a city as a whole, like the amount of support we've got has been amazing. Given that I was working at another startup, and now like kind of we're doing our own, like me and Nate, and it's just the two of us, and we get so much support on from Switchyards, being that's where we're at, but also all the other hubs and kind of like the universities. I graduated from Georgia State, so I actually just finished speaking at Georgia State earlier today. So just talking to the students there, and they have entrepreneurship programs, just kind of letting them know like, yeah, it's there's you can do anything really. It's just you gotta set your mind to it and ask for the right resources. The resources are there. You just gotta look for them. So
they absolutely are. And again, it's about grit.
Exactly. You gotta be persistent. Like you have to get that one win, but like nobody sees all the like little like failures that we got all along the way. Like I mean, I've probably been rejected from investors probably like 100 times now. So I mean, all we need is one, right? But so it's just one. But it's the same things But it doesn't get me down. It's just kind of all right. We just need that one. That's how you have to think about it. It's like how is the cup full or empty, right? Or what's the analogy?
Yeah, half full.
Half full or half empty.
Yeah.
So I always see half full.
So a really cool human I was talking to right before this said a quote. I was like, I need to tattoo that on myself. and they said, rejection is just redirection. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
That's very true. That's very true.
Mm-hmm. That's some good stuff right
He
there.
said.
That was you.
I see the icon.
Yeah.
It's true. Like one thing, and it's funny too that like when I'm driving from like Charlotte to Atlanta, one of the things I always do is actually, it's cliche. Like I listen to like those motivational like YouTube videos.
No, you really?
Yeah.
Shocker. Shocker. You're always learning. I would never. Yeah.
But like I mean, and like one of the things that that stood out to me is like when you have your mind set for like this goal, right? You always want to look at that end goal, right? And then there's two types of people that like see the end goal or see the things that are stopping them in between. And like obviously for me, I'm very much driven on that end goal and know that there's going to be barriers and it's just kind of you have to be like water where you're just going to go around them.
Yes,
fluid.
I love that analogy.
So
that's so good.
So I thought that was something that stuck with me. But yeah, like those type of things, like I definitely like. I think are honestly really true. You just have to like keep that mindset. Your mind is so powerful, it's ridiculous.
I know.
And it's just like the amount of that. I mean, I feel like we've been able to obtain now, and I don't think we're nowhere near where I perceive us to be. It's still just been like super humbling and super exciting.
It's really, really amazing what you've done and where you're going to go. I have two questions before we wrap. One is, what can we do for you? What can the people watching both in Atlanta, around the Southeast, around the world, like, what do you need? How can we help?
I mean, we're always obviously the biggest ones are customers. Like we want, if you have credit card debt or some form of debt, like, try our product out,
Does it cost us
It does.
anything?
It's $1.99 whenever we send out a payment, and it's on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So the cool thing is that we take it from the Coins account itself, never from your checking account. So
Nice.
you don't really feel it.
So you won't overdraft me.
So yeah, we won't overdraft you, so we'll make sure that we're protected there. It really depended on your bank because some of the banks so. But yeah, so $1.99 whenever we send the payment out. And like I said, we already hit 750. Our goal for next year is to up that to at least 10 million. So we're trying to set the bar high.
Nice.
And obviously feedback. Feedback's like super important to us. Like we just sent out Net Promoter Score, and we get so much feedback from that. And we do have a lot of improving to do, but that's just kind of the name of the game, and I'm okay with that. And
it's fun.
We're rolling out a new version here in a couple weeks. So we're super excited. I think it'll answer a lot of the problems. Obviously, it comes with more problems, but I'm super excited. But yeah, I mean, try it out, tell people about it. I mean, we're really just we're looking to keep growing and make an impact, and our focus is creating that impact on consumer debt. So.
And then opportunities for scale. Where do you see some of the biggest opportunities for really taking your user base to the next level?
Yeah, so the next thing that we're working on is giving like so there's emotional aspect that comes with debt, right? A lot of people don't like to talk about it, but are willing to talk about it with like those closest to them. And so what we're trying to do is kind of create this emotional like crowdfunding aspect around the product. So that, like, for example, let's just focus on like student loans, right? If I'm a student in college, is inviting my parents to actually focus in around that same debt. So by the time I've graduated, I've already at least cut the interest. So it's like multiplying effect there. So that's kind of one thing that I think will create that virality. So if one person signs up, 3 will more than likely sign up. So things like that.
Nice.
So, and then also like newlyweds, right? They have those credit card debts that they're trying to get down before they buy a house or to do these things. So, like I said, that emotional aspect is something that I think is very valuable, and it's what really drives a lot of the willingness to get out of debt, right? The problem is that people have debt, and there's a lot of tools to get out of it, but they don't, right? So that emotional support is super helpful when you're trying to get out of debt.
That is a very, very key point. It's
So-
like first you got to own it.
Exactly.
You have to admit there's a problem.
Exactly. So
Awesome. Well, Christian, I am so honored to have seen like the birth of this, and you and Nate are awesome, and just keep doing big things. Always let us know how we can help. Everybody watching, download Coins, see what it can do for you. Help get those user numbers up. And if you're an investor watching, I can personally attest to Christian's character. If I had a fund, I would definitely pour into his company. So thank you.
Tanya.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
everyone.
being here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was fun.